Good morning. Look who came to cuddle with me. So today I want to take you guys through what it's like to be a lecturer at Yale for the day on the day that I do teach class. But first, yoga.
Okay, while I clean up and go to yoga, let's talk a little about how I became a lecturer at Yale in the first place. If you have one takeaway from this video, it should be this: keep in touch with your professors and classmates and old bosses. For most everything I've gotten in my life, I can trace it back to one single person who came into my life and completely changed it. This lecture appointment is no exception. When I was in college, I took this series of classes about law and technology and really enjoyed them. Really enjoyed them. They were the first classes I ever took and felt like my brain came alive during class, if that makes sense. My major was econ, which I thought was aight, but didn't love, so these law and technology classes were particularly notable. I was really engaged as a result, did well in the classes, and became friendly with the instructor, who also was one of my recommenders for law school. Fast forward like 9 or 10 years, and one day I get an email from this former instructor asking me if I want to teach this course, Intellectual Property in the Digital Age. I'm a 4th year associate at this point. I've gotten the hang of being in big law, so I jump at the chance to do something new and challenge myself again.
What I want in a career and life is just something that's constantly evolving and exciting, where I get to learn new things all the time. I presented this option to the head of my practice group and she was extremely supportive. And I think this was the first time that I realized that law firms could be different. Law firms might also let you do things in your own life that you want to do. Throughout the rest of my time at the firm, she really proved to be the best advocate and looked out for me in ways that I didn't even know someone could look out for me in, right? Because I think especially when you're an associate, when you don't have lawyers in your family, when you're stuck in an immigrant mentality of this is the best thing I'll ever have, and I have to kowtow at the feet of the partnership, she kind of showed me that there was a different way to be a partner and to advocate for associates. And then the approval process for getting an appointment, it was kind of like applying to any kind of grad school again, where you have to get 2 academic recommendation letters and then 1 non-academics. I asked a couple of my old law school professors if they would write for me, and they said yes, which was great. It was also a good opportunity to keep in touch with them again and update them about my life and how firm life was going. The instructor who had recommended me for this position actually was very late in getting me started on the recommendation process, so I got my appointment relatively late. And then because of that, I wasn't able to find a TA. Oh my gosh, that first year of teaching, guys, it was the hardest semester of my life. I knew that teaching would be a challenge, so I went down to 80% time at my law firm in order to accommodate that. Honestly, it's the grading that's the worst. Grading so many reading responses every week, it was just a huge time suck. I now know why professors say, oh, I would teach for free, but you have to pay me to grade, because that is also how I felt. Thank God for my TAs in the years after, because they saved my soul. My life would be so much worse without them. Luckily, after the first year, teaching was a lot easier, and it's now my 3rd year. It kind of just feels very second nature, like I'm in my element. I talked to a student last week who said that they knew someone who was only taking easy classes because they were so worried about their GPA for purposes of law school applications, even though they are interested in classes that are ranked harder. The fact that they feel like they have to actively not look into and pursue interests that they do have in order to preserve this objective metric of success, the GPA, being tethered to that metric, it's good in some ways, but it can also take over your life in a really negative way, because then you never realize what you want to do, what is important to you. And so much of adulthood, it happens one day. It might not happen when you're 22, and it might not happen when you're in law school, but at some point you do have to face the music and be like, what do I want? What do I like? And if you've spent your entire time in life just pursuing the easy classes, the high GPA, the classes that someone told you should take, you won't really have any information to help guide you. You will know some things that you don't want maybe, but you'll have less information about what you do want. I remember how scared of life I was and how scary I thought life was. And it's still scary, and it's fine to be scared. But I kind of wish that college and my teachers and everyone helped me navigate that scariness a little bit more. That's what I hope to do, both in class and also on this channel. Okay, I am ready to go. And if I've learned anything in New York, it's to always wear black when in doubt. So I'm gonna pack up my laptop, my iPad, because that's where I pull up my lesson plan, and then I'm going to head to the train station. Because this is the last class though, and the class has been great this year, if I can manage to get to the train station a little bit earlier, I want to buy them some Magnolia cupcakes.
Hi, could I get 18 cupcakes? I arrive in New Haven and take the shuttle to campus. I still can't ever get over how beautiful Yale is, and to this day, it takes my breath away a little to step onto cross campus every week. I sit in the library and continue prepping for class. I always feel a lot of pressure to make sure that the last class is a good one, you know? And then head to the classroom, take out the cupcakes for everyone, and lead discussion for the next 2 hours. So I just finished my last class of the semester. I don't think there is a more rewarding feeling than when after you finish class and you thank the students for being there and participating, when they like clap. I don't know, sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe the clapping is fake, and maybe it is, but there's just something so rewarding about it, and it makes any of the hours, any of the tears the first year just totally worth it. One of the students came up afterwards and told me that this was her favorite class, and now she was interested in doing intellectual property law. That's really what I aim to do, is to, like, through the lens of intellectual property, make the world seem interesting and changing, and also like you have an impact in what is going on. I initially took this job because I wanted the prestige of also having an academic appointment in addition to like my already prestigious job.
Because why distinguish yourself once when you can distinguish yourself twice, right?
I think the reward from teaching has been way more than just the prestige. College students have a certain energy and a hopefulness and an unsullied vision of the world. It's a vision that I really wish more people had. It's such a privilege to be able to influence their thinking in some way, encourage them to think about things in different ways, and we'll go forth into the world and hopefully do some really amazing things.